Bonjour, welcome. This video is a little bit different than what we usually do around here. This is more for my family, but if you love history or Native American culture, you might enjoy this too. This is the great Ottawa Chief Pontiac. He is also my great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather. You may have studied about him in U.S. history. He was married to Kentuckegan, which means woman canoe paddler. This is why Native names rock. They tell you a little bit about the person, and I just think it's so cool that my great-grandmother was into canoeing because I myself love to kayak. My family had the opportunity to visit his final resting place in St. Louis, Missouri. He was killed just across the Mississippi River in modern-day Illinois. Here lie the remains of Pontiac, chief of the Ottawa people and leader of the greatest alliance of Native Americans against white expansion in the United States and Canada. Pontiac was born in 1720 and became chief of the Ottawas in 1755. Pontiac organized a coalition of tribes that stretched from the Great Lakes to the Gulf of Mexico. In 1763, the tribes struck simultaneously at 14 British posts. Pontiac personally led the 5-month attack on Fort Detroit, which ended in defeat when Britain forged peace with France, its other adversary, for expansion in the New World. Pontiac realized the hopelessness of his cause and negotiated a peace treaty with the British in 1765. In 1769, a member of a rival tribe in Illinois murdered Pontiac. His remains were buried here, then the edge of the village of St. Louis. Pontiac had a son, Otusa. I don't have a lot of information about him other than he lived and died in Illinois. Otusa's son was Notino. He is buried in Kansas. We found the cemetery and Notino's resting place. We've been warned that there are ticks here. Some of us are freaking out. Grass is really tall. Where, you saw deer?
If you look straight between those trees.
Oh, way out there you can see a whitetail. Just missed it. There's a lot of graves that we figure people are buried here, but they're unmarked.
Where the markers fell apart.
Yeah.
Oh, look, a bunny. Look, oh, a deer, baby deer.
Yeah.
Oh, is it baby deer?
It's probably his mama that ran off.
There it goes. Alright, let's go look for Notino. You look like you're at the Renaissance Festival with your flower crown.
Yeah.
Oh, you found it?
Look, no date or anything, just a name.
That was Pontiac's grandson. Notino. Otusa's son. Hello, grandfather. They get really nice things. What does that say? Servant for the Lord? Those are some of the reverends at the mission out here.
Servants for the Lord, yes.
Being that this, like there's nothing out here, maybe the mission was right here. You know? And like maybe this was the graveyard next to it.
Might be right.
These are my favorite flowers.
Coming?
Yeah. Man, just think the Indians could do this without leaving a trail. Now we have to go home and check ourselves for ticks. Can I get my own picture?
No, hush. Quit ordering us around.
Goodbye, grandfather, grandmothers.
Pester.
So you found this tick on you? So if you're wondering how our tribe went from Illinois to Kansas, let me give you a quick rundown. Let's go way back to when the French explorer Samuel de Champlain first encountered the Ottawa people in 1615 in the Great Lake area. From 1615 to 1807, we were in Michigan, Wisconsin, and the Great Lake regions. In 1836, the Ottawa made our way to Ohio. Fur trading, now with the British, prompted a lot of this movement. But the British wanted more than fur. A bad time was coming for my people. The Ottawas were removed in 3 separate trips from Ohio to Kansas in the 1830s. Some people call this the other Trail of Tears. Some of them refused to move, and we still have cousins in the Great Lakes area as well as in Canada. The journey was made by steamboat, horse, and foot. When they arrived, the prairie was quite different from the woods they had lived in before. By 1840, our numbers were down to just 220 Ottawas. In Kansas, our reservation was 74,000 acres. We have none of this left today. Surplus lands were opened to white settlement in the 1860s, and our funds and trusts mysteriously disappeared. Our chief at the time recognized that if we kept selling to whites, we would both be landless and penniless. Once again, we moved. We bought 14,000 acres from another tribe and moved in 1869 to Miami, Oklahoma. But before I talk about Oklahoma, let's explore our namesake school, Ottawa University in Kansas. This school was founded in 1865. This is a Baptist university that can trace its roots back to the mission on the cemetery we visited. The school was built for the benefit of the Ottawa children. Over time, promises to the Ottawas were broken. It's a story heard again and again in American Indian history. But in 2008, the historical connection between the tribe and their university was restored.
Hey, why don't you girls stand by the sign here and your mother take a picture?
And have our hair catch on fire.
Stand by the sign and smile.
Say cheese. From 14,000 acres down to 8.5. That's all that's left of our reservation lands in Oklahoma today. A cemetery and a church that my family made a pilgrimage to, both in my younger years and with my children. In Miami, we find the final resting place of James Wind, one of the survivors who made the journey from Ohio. Side note, his mother-in-law was Grandma King, also known as Aunt Jane King. Grandma King was my great-great-great-great-grandmother. She had long been the historian of the Ottawas. Among her many services to the tribe, she was the medicine woman, she was a midwife as well, and she spoke 3 languages, French, English, and Algonquin. She and her husband had come from Ohio at the time of the removal of the Ottawas to Kansas in 1837. Around 30 years later, she came with the Ottawas to the reservation in Oklahoma. Her picture was taken on her birthday in 1882 when she was 116 years old. It is said that during the celebration of her birthday, she watched the dancers a while, then went with them and showed them how the Ottawas had danced 100 years prior. Okay, on to my great-great-grandmother, Catherine Wynn, who was born in Kansas and died in Oklahoma. Rose bush here. Catherine Wynn.
There's no body around stuff on right now. Weird. But yeah, a tomb is something you can walk into. A grave is something like this, where it just has a headstone.
Her daughter, my great-grandmother, would be the generation that moved my family out of Indian Territory when she and her husband brought their 8 children to Texas. Oh, it just says Ottawa Tribe of Oklahoma.
I know.
This is the Ottawa office building. I think all of my ancestors would be proud of the turnaround our tribe has made. We have several businesses that we visited when in Miami. This was new. This was not built when I was a kid. Alright, you can park over here.
You want me to go all the way around?
No, you can park over here. So this is the Ottawa Travel Plaza.
Such an iPad.
This is our casino. Pretty cool. I'm at the casino and I am about to try this game. So here we go. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'll put in $1. We'll see. Here we go. I'm a loser.
Hi there.
Hi. There's the restaurant. More games. The High Winds Casino. Y'all come check it out. Make my tribe some money. Maybe my grandchildren will get some money. Well, I just won $400.
You did not.
Stopping point of $2.50.
They're making fun of me because I only gambled $2.50 and
The
quit.
accountant and you couldn't handle it.
And I kept my cash out voucher that is for 45 cents as a souvenir because I'm that cheap. And then there's me and my dad, the first of our line to be born in Texas. And the next generation, my daughters, who speak proudly of their native heritage. I hope you enjoyed this video. I wanted to make this to capture the basics for our youngest generations and hopefully inspire them to relearn our lost culture and keep learning history. Big Witch for watching.